Reynhard Sinaga, the greatest gay rapist of all time. Reynhard Sinaga is an Indonesian studying geography in England. He was arrested and sentenced to life imprisonment for raping at least 44 men over 2.5 years. The truth is that he is guilty of no less than 136 rapes. This dismal record makes him the worst sex offender of the 21st century. Today, you will understand. I will tell you about the most prolific rapist of all time. Before talking about his misdeeds, let's go back to his journey from childhood to adulthood, because the reasons for his misdeeds may be found in his past. Before we continue, consider to subscribe and like this video. Thanks you and let's go. Sinaga was born in 1983 in Indonesia and grew up in Depok. After graduating with a degree in architecture from the Faculty of Engineering, University of Indonesia, Depok in 2006, he moved to the UK on a student visa and began studying in August 2007 at the University of Manchester. He obtained a Master of Science in Planning in 2009 and a Master of Arts in Sociology in 2011. Nothing unusual so far. Remaining in Manchester, he began studying for a Doctor of Philosophy from the University of Leeds in August 2012 on Human Geography, which he did not complete. His dissertation, titled Sexuality and Everyday Transnationalism Among South Asian Gay and Bisexual Men in Manchester, was submitted in August 2016 and was assessed as a failure. Why was it seen as a failure knowing that the homosexual cause was booming? Anyway, he was allowed to edit and resubmit it and was working on his dissertation at the time of his arrest. Moreover, he was working on his thesis at the time of his arrest. Perhaps his crimes were done for science. How did they orchestrate his crimes? Sinaga lived in a flat in central Manchester which served as a base for his assaults. He would wait for men coming out of nightclubs and bars before leading them to his apartment, often offering them a place to have a drink or hail a cab. Giving them a drugged drink, which would have been fortified with GHB, Sinaga would then assault the unconscious victims and film the attack. According to video recordings, he rarely used condoms when penetrating his victims. By the time his conviction was announced in January 2020, nearly all of Sinaga's victims were known to have been heterosexual young men, with 3 exceptions. He viewed heterosexual men as people to be exorcised. In June 2017, his last victim, an 18-year-old amateur rugby player, regained consciousness during the rape, pushed his attacker away, and reported the incident to the police. Sinaga was severely beaten and hospitalized, while police first arrested his victim on suspicion of grievous bodily harm. Subsequent examination of Sinaga's iPhone by police led to the discovery of over 3 terabytes of digital video, evidence of his assaults and rapes. Many of his victims were traceable because Sinaga kept their phones, watches, ID cards, etc., and he used social media to contact his unconscious victims online. Some victims unwittingly accepted his friend requests on Facebook. Sinaga has pleaded not guilty to all charges against him, so his victims have been portrayed as defamers. Fortunately, the videos that were shown to jurors and others present at the trials changed opinions. Following this, he claimed to have played sexual games with them in order to fulfill his fantasies. He claimed that all meetings were consensual. Plea denied as victims were heard snoring on the videos. In the end, Sinaga was found guilty of 136 rapes, 14 counts of sexual assault, 8 attempted rapes, and 1 felony assault by penetration. During the first 2 trials, he took 88 life sentences with a minimum sentence of 30 years before being eligible for parole. This sentence was increased to 40 years by the Court of Appeal on December 11, 2020, except that no, it was too nice of a sentence. The trial was therefore reopened. The judge said he would not be eligible for parole. He will therefore remain in prison all his life. Thanks for watching. It's not too late to subscribe to this channel. Anyway, see you next time if the algorithm wants it.